Hello, my name is Richard, and I'm going to walk you through how to use Excel to make a chart for your biology lab. So the first thing we do is we input our data. To save time, I went ahead and did this. In our column to the left, we have the size classes. 4.5 centimeters to not 4.9 centimeters, 5 centimeters to 5.4 centimeters, so on and so forth. In the column to the right, we have the numbers seen. For example, we saw one pine needle that was between 4.5 and 4.9 centimeters. We saw two pine needles that were between 5.0 and 5.4 centimeters. And we continue down the chart. So the first thing we have to do is to select all this data. So what you do is you start in the upper left cell, and while holding down your left mouse button, go down and to the right. And now you can see that both columns have been highlighted. Next, go up to your taskbar and press Insert. Then go and click Chart, and that has brought up the Chart Wizard. And this is going to let us make a chart from that data that we just highlighted. As you see, there's several different chart types. We have column, bar, line, XY scatter, many choices. And each chart type has its own subtype. For example, there's clustered columns, there's 3D views, there's stacked views. For this, we're going to use a very simple column graph. Then we're going to do a very simple clustered column. And to get an idea of how it looks, you can click and press this button, and you get a rough estimate of how it's going to look. It looks pretty good. So let's continue to the next steps. Okay, step 3 of the chart wizard is where you really make the chart look good. So to make this acceptable for science, you have to give it a chart title, and you also have to give it an x-axis and a y-axis. And the reason for this is that the viewer needs to know this in order to interpret the data. So the chart title should be descriptive of what the chart's about. So what we're going to choose is size of pine needles observed, because that's what we are showing. And as you see on the figure here, it has updated in real time to reflect the change we just made. So our x-axis is the one going left to right, and that's our size classes. So I'm going to type size classes. And an important thing is that it's in centimeters. So we also have to mention the units we use because the viewer needs to know that. This could be in millimeters, it could be in meters, it could be in inches. There's no way the viewer would know what measurements. So we just do parentheses cm. Okay, the y-axis is the one going up and down. This is the numbers observed. So we're just going to say numbers seen. Okay? Now you can go in this little chart wizard and change little features of it. For example, if I want to add more grid lines, I can do that. I can either take away the legend or I can place it in different places of the chart. Top, bottom, center, anywhere you want to place it, or you just can omit it. You can add data labels, such that the number that we just chose will be on top of the bar. Then, click Finish. And let me just scroll this over. That is our chart. Now let's just say you want to take this chart and put it in a Word document. How would you do that? Well, it's pretty simple. You right-click the chart and select Copy. You then go to a Word document and paste your chart in a Word document. You then can manipulate the size of it and make a chart like that in a Word document.